My name is Carleen Williams-Clark, and I'm Manager of Direct Services at the 519 and a member of the Advisory Committee for the Among Friends project. There's limited research on queer and trans newcomers, and even less covering gender-based analysis. And that is why this research is important. In this project, we're hoping to better understand the unique realities, needs, barriers, and discrimination faced by LGBTQ+ newcomer women. We're also hoping to come up with effective recommendations for building positive spaces and overcoming systemic barriers and discrimination for newcomer women. We want to develop educational resources to be used by community, governments, and organizations.
My name is Excel Janser, and I'm the Executive Director of Access Alliance Multicultural Health and Community Services, and we are the lead on the Among Friends project. One of the things that we do is we work in partnership. This project is no different because we can't do it alone. We have to work with our partners to understand how to respond appropriately to the needs and issues, being led by members of the community themselves, and build our own capacity to ensure that we are providing services in an inclusive and respectful space, but then that we're also working with our partners and other organizations in the sector to support them to ensure that they're also creating these positive spaces.
My name is Yogendra Shakya. I'm the Senior Research Scientist at Access Alliance. I'm the co-principal investigator for this project. And like all the projects at Access Alliance, this research project is grounded on the principles of community-based research. And what that means is that community agency partners and community members of the target community group, in this case LGBTQ newcomer women, are involved in meaningful ways throughout the project as co-researchers, peer researchers, and co-producers of knowledge from the design stage, recruitment, data collection, analysis, writing, knowledge mobilization, basically all throughout, and not just as research participants like in conventional research.
My name is Sarah Simpson. I'm a Master's of Social Work student at York University, and I completed my first placement at Access Alliance, where I supported the Among Friends research project. Working with the Among Friends project spurred my learning while working with queer and trans refugee claimants who are accessing Access Alliance's services and programs. And really the research inspires me to continue my efforts of allyship and advocacy with queer and trans newcomer women, specifically refugee claimants. And it really reminds me how we really can do better in terms of the support that we provide and how we work with, and really how we show up for LGBTQ+ newcomer women, and how we can do this in much more practical ways.
My name is Ranjit Kulatilaka. I work at Access Alliance, and I'm the coordinator of the LGBTQ+ newcomer initiatives as a community health worker. So because of my work, I am also a member of the advisory committee for this project. We have two main data sources. The first one is service provider interviews. So we spoke with those who work with and for trans and queer newcomer women, because they are intimately and very closely familiar with the realities and challenges and the barriers, in particular in service sectors. The second and most important data collection method is focus groups, and these are with LGBTQ+ newcomer women, to hear directly from the people whose needs and experiences we are trying to capture and respond to. We have also reserved one focus group specifically for trans women, simply because we know the unique needs and experiences of trans people may be lost in the general focus groups. Speaking with both service providers and trans and queer newcomer women who use those services allows us to compare the two accounts to see whether service providers are properly and adequately aware of the needs and experiences of trans and queer newcomer women who access their services.
My name is Serena Nudell. I'm the manager of mental health and wellness at Access Alliance, and I'm also a member of the advisory committee for the Among Friends research project. As a community-based research project, not only do we want to produce evidence, but we actually want to use that evidence to create change. And so more specifically, we want to create educational and advocacy materials to support trans and queer newcomer women to access the health resources that they need. Based on the data that we collected and analyzed, we're going to be developing the following resources that are going to support trans and queer newcomer women. We're going to be developing a video that summarizes the literature review, the findings, as well as recommendations from our research. We're hoping that this video will make the information accessible so that we can share it with service providers. We will also be developing a series of blog posts by people who've been working on the project. We will be developing a policy brief that will be submitted to political representatives. The intention of the policy brief is to make recommendations to reduce systemic inequities that trans and queer newcomer women face. We will be developing a resource guide, and this will be geared towards anyone who has service needs, but most specifically towards trans and queer newcomer women.